Hello, my name is Marisa Panizzi, and together with Alejandro Josian and Ramon Garcia Martinez, we present the paper System Implantation, a Comparative Study and Identification of Gaps in Usual Methodologies in the 99th International Conference on Software Engineering and Knowledge Engineering. The presentation is structured by 4 sections. Introductions, where we assume that the system implantation is one of the phases of the software process where the human interaction dimension becomes relevant. However, weakness in the supervision of this dimension is a factor that in many cases leads to the failure of the project. Then we present the processes considered, results and interpretation. We present the analytical dimension considered in the comparative study, then we present a table with the results, and finally the interpretation of the results. We present the conclusion, and finally future lines of works. The evolution in software engineering has provided an array of methodologies and standards, including IAAA 1074, Metrica, Rational Unified Process, Scrum, among others. Vasconcelos and Werner argument that there are many problems associated to the description of processes in the existing standards or software process models. The study graph report presents a series of factors influencing the success or not of a project, among which are users' involvement, inadequate definitions of requirements, and resources skills, all of them related to the human aspects of the software development. The improvements proposed by requirements engineering, such as standards for requirement specification and the language extended lexicon, have helped to resolve issues related to the human aspect of the fair link in the software construction chain. We argue that the implantation process constitutes another link in the software process chain, where strong human interaction between system professionals and the user community is observed. The process is played down because it is the last link in the software process chain. This research was developed on the assumption that the software projects fail due to human aspects, roles definition, the interaction between the different roles, the capacities of people performing those roles, among other factors. We state the human dimension and its impact in the implantation process as the working hypothesis. From this, the following research question arises: will comparative study show what all areas in the information system implantation process are covered? In this section, we present the methodologies included in the comparative study. The IAAA 1074 standard, the Metrica version 3 methodology, the Rational Unified Process, and finally the Scrum methodology. We considered the dimension in the analysis of the implantation process of information systems, as well as the project management process associated to it. The dimensions considered are the phases, activities, and tasks that make up a process, the proposed tools, the proposed techniques, the artifacts, inputs, and products, the required roles, the competencies needed for each role. This table presents the level of compliance of the analytical dimension considered for the implantation process in the software development process. you can see implementation in the table. And in the software project management processes, you can see project management in the table. In this work, we focus on the implementation process between the software development process. It was also necessary to consider the software project management aspects due to the interaction observed with the implementation process. Some of the methodologies analyzed propose phases, activities, and tasks. Others propose artifacts, techniques, and tools. Some have roles. As for the competence dimension, none of the methodologies considered includes competence for the processes. This work presented a systematic revision of the system implementation sub-process by means of the comparative study of the selected methodologies. As a result, a number of gaps in the sub-process were identified, particularly gaps related to the human aspects, even though there are models that propose roles, but the competence that the people playing those roles should have not are presented. We are able to create a comparative instrument to study a number of analytical dimensions of the implementation process and the project management process that interact with it. We identify as a future research work the need to incorporate more process models or methodologies such as extreme programming, dynamic system development method, rapid application development, agile unified process, and to explore the incorporation of other dimensions to the comparison tool, such as metrics. Thank you very much.